You guys were both at the heart of what could have been a game-changing moment. How relieved were you, Nathan, when Caoimhin saved that penalty?
Yeah, fairly. I had trusted him though. I've seen him do it before, so when he goes into a penalty shootout, I'm more convinced he's going to save it than they score.
Were you relieved to stay on the pitch as well?
No, I knew. Tactical.
You've saved, Caoimhin, 3 of your 5 penalties that you faced in your time at Liverpool. So how important was it for you to save that penalty at that moment in the game, considering how many points Brentford have dropped this season when you've been in front?
Yeah, I think it was obviously important. Come at an important time of the game when we're 2-1 up. So yeah, it's a big save, and then obviously we did well to finish it off as well and get the win.
As you say, you know Caoimhin well, international teammates. How good is it to have him here at Brentford with you?
Unbelievable. Since he's come in, he's been so part of the group, so fluid. We've needed him, you know, and he's brought that security that we need behind us, and he's been top class.
How have you settled in here?
Yeah, it's been brilliant, yeah. Obviously Nathan's helped me a lot to settle in, and the lads here have been really welcoming, and yeah, it's a really good club, and yeah, we just need more days like this time.
You can hear the crowd in here. Beating Manchester United at home must always be a good feeling. How much belief does this give you going into the next game, Manchester City back here next week, that you can get another good result like this?
Yeah, 100%. I don't think we're at our best yet either. I think today we had spells where we weren't good enough and we applied pressure to ourselves, so there's a lot more to come from us. This is the bottom standard and we work from that.
Well done today, guys.
Thank you.
Alongside me, a big day. We spoke about just how impressive Brentford were, Peter, before the break, but for Man United, how bad were they?
They just couldn't cope defensively. So, you know, the centre forward Thiago was causing so many problems. The long ball was consistently putting them. I thought they got bullied at times. The centre halves. You know, we were seeing a little bit kind of the individual errors that they made. Didn't have enough going forward. Didn't feel like they were creating much really. Yeah, just a really bad day at the office again.
And Thiago was full throttle from the off, Joe. Let's have a look at them in transition and just how effective they were.
Me and Crouchy were saying he's like a throwback centre forward. Like this was, you're dealing with players like this weekly. Like, you know, as soon as they get the ball, they get one look. He attacks the space very well. I think this is a brilliant touch as well. I think he's proficient. It's a wonderful finish. Took his goal so well, but his all-round game impressed me so much. Everything he was doing. You know, look how he bends the run. He bends the run. Harry Maguire tries to step up. It's a lovely ball from Jordan Henderson. But this touch here I love. Bang, and an outside left foot. That's a very, very difficult technique to master, but it's a wonderful strike.
Jordan Henderson has actually just come out to join us here as well. Jordan, just what a finish that was for the opening goal.
Yeah, I've just seen it back there, to be fair. Looked really good finish from Thiago. It was a great run from him. I seen it quite early, so I tried to just get it in front of him to play it, and there was an amazing finish from him, and that set us off in the game well.
Is that something that the manager has talked to you about, that early pass? Obviously, you've done it throughout your career, like that you know, long pass, but beautiful vision. Is it something the manager tells you, or is that instinctive from you?
I think just the way sometimes that when we're defending deep with the players that we've got up top, like Kevin and Dango and Thiago, as soon as you get your head up, they're making runs forward and they can create some good chances for us, and definitely in the home games we've managed to do that. So yeah, I thought the front three today were really good.
Jordan, it's a great start for you as well on a personal level. You look like you're really enjoying your football again.
Yeah, I am enjoying it. I'm really just grateful, and I'm excited by the opportunity to come back and play in the Premier League. That really got us going, and the reason why I wanted to come here, and just a really good feeling to be back playing at the highest level, week in, week out, with the atmospheres and the players, the best players in the world. So I'm just trying to enjoy it as much as possible, and today was a great day for us.
And having dropped so many points this season from winning positions, just how did that feel to get that one over the line, having got off to such a brilliant start again? Yeah,
it was important, I think, especially when you concede the penalty and things like that. But Quigg made a fantastic save, and then to finally get the third goal to finish it off was really nice. So it's a big 3 points for us. And to be honest, I thought we deserved it throughout the game for large parts. I thought we played well.
And talk to us a bit more about your role as a leader in the dressing room since you've come in, especially working with an inexperienced coach.
Yeah, again, I just try to be myself. I mean, loads of people, when you get older and more experienced, people want to talk about leadership all the time, but you know, you just be yourself, and that's all I've ever tried to be. I'll be myself around the training ground, try to train as well as I can, and first and foremost I need to do my job on the pitch really, and that's what I try to do, and everything else is just normal and just to try to help the younger ones, because you're right, it is a young team.
And do you feel extra motivated in a World Cup year? Is that in your head?
I think it's always in the back of your mind when you're sort of making decisions in the summer, like when I was coming here and things like that. But ultimately, I wanted to come back to play in the Premier League and to get that buzz back, really, of enjoying my football and having that opportunity. But of course, I know that if I'm playing well and you're playing at the highest level in the Premier League, then I want to obviously be in that England squad, ready to go and try and win a World Cup. Yeah.
How was the experience, Jordan, being away from the Premier League and trying different leagues? And are you pleased to be back?
I am pleased to be back, but at the same time, I really feel as though I learnt a lot in them couple of years of being away. It wasn't easy at times, I'll admit that, but there's things that I did enjoy and I did learn, and I'm really grateful and thankful for that period that I had away. For a couple of years, and there were some really good moments, especially last season at Ajax. The season we had as a team and the new manager that come in was amazing, and he really got the love back for the game, and is really the way that he played, the way he set up. And yeah, I'm very thankful to him to get us back to loving playing football again, really.
And working now with Keith Andrews, he was talking to Shay Given before the game and saying that he likes his players to have a voice, to have an input in the game plan, to be very much a collective. How are you finding working under that approach?
Different. I'm not used to that really, but I can see the positives, and I can see, this football club has done amazing things over the last few years, and they've sold players and they've brought new players in, and this summer there has been a lot of change, players, staff, but they're not stupid people. They know what they're doing. Genuinely good people, and when I met them, the manager, the directors of the club, I did feel like they genuinely cared about the team, the club, and the players, and that's one of the biggest reasons why I came.
Has your throw got better since you got here?
Sorry?
Your throw, has it got better since
My
you've
throw,
been?
I haven't done any yet. I'll stay away from that. I'll let Michael do that.
So many
Some
players in this team with that weapon in their armoury, though.
Yeah.
So it is a real weapon for you now.
It is, yeah, and why not use it? It is a real weapon. But to be honest, it's not just us. I see some of the top teams using long throws now as well. So, yeah, if it creates carnage and you can get opportunities from it, why not?
I thought someone from Sunderland would be able to understand my accent. Yeah.
No one understands your accent. Are you enjoying living in London as well? How's that been for the family?
Family, not. I'm sort of back and forwards at the minute. I'm in London, but outside of London.
Yeah,
It's
okay.
a bit too busy for me in central London, so I'm on the outskirts, a bit more on the countryside. I like just calm and peaceful, but that's been nice.
Same as Crouchy when he played.
But it's been nice. It's nice, definitely. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Jordan, well done today.
Yeah, thank you very
thanks
much.
for coming out to join
Thank
us.
you. Thank
Cheers.
you.
Mate, well done.
Cheers. Thanks a lot.
Thanks. Nice to see you.
Just how much of a clever signing is it looking to bring Jordan Henderson?
It's looking really clever, isn't it? I think you look at the club and the owners. I don't think the owners planned for losing Mbeumo and Visser. Maybe I'm wrong, but when it did happen and Visser's gone out the door, even more important, losing the manager as well, having someone of his stature and his experience in and around the group. And they've just been seamless, and to get 7 points on the board and having a moment like that, have the equaliser against Chelsea. So they've played some of the big teams as well, and they've got points on the board. I think it's a very, very astute signing.
You can't underestimate having a leader like that in the dressing room. Someone who's been at 6 major tournaments for England, and he's won everything. He's played at the highest level. I think that experience, and the leadership qualities, the voice in the dressing room. I think that's something that Manchester United miss at the moment.
Well, it wasn't all plain sailing. Certainly in the first half, they got off to a flyer, but then Benjamin Šeško got his first goal for Manchester United, Peter. It was really a case of his persistence paying off. Did that impress you?
Yeah, it was, yeah. I think it's one positive to come out of today is obviously Šeško getting the goal. I thought Kelleher didn't cover himself in glory on the first one, considering he had such a good game. I just thought it was a little bit there. He could have probably punched that a little bit further. But Šeško's just persistence. He got the shots off. He consistently got back in there, and perseverance paid off.
Yeah, I mean, the first one he's got to do. And, you know, credit to Kelleher, because I think as a goalkeeper, you know, he would have done better he could have done better on the first one. But these reactions on this one, he swiped at that. That's a great save. That's a great save. And credit to Sesko for, you know, finally getting off the mark, and then to come back and then have the big moment in the game, Kelleher, where he saves the penalty. You know, that shows what mental strength that lad's got.
It was checked for foul on Kelleher by Mbeumo, but didn't see anything in that.
No, we're not giving those ones, unfortunately. That was, he just needed to be stronger.
And then in the second half, Manchester United with a chance to level the score, awarding a penalty, Nathan Collins, for a pull on Mbeumo. No doubt about the penalty, Joe, for you. Should it have been a red card though?
It's very much on the fringes. I think he got away with one, Collins, there a little bit, because, you know, by the laws that we got, as a centre forward, a player of that quality, he's only got to put his toe on it, you know, and then clearly look the foul. Once he gets his toe on that,
I mean, denying a goal scoring opportunity, that's exactly what that was, right?
Yeah.
No attempt to play the ball, and he's pulled him back. I think what they're saying is that he wasn't perhaps in control of the ball.
Yeah, the Premier League match centre saying that it was checked and confirmed by VAR, with Collins deemed to have pulled Mbeumo back. VAR also checked the referee's call of yellow card for Collins and deemed Mbeumo wasn't in control of the ball.
Well, that's what, Linz, when it becomes subjective, because he's attacking across. He wasn't in control of the ball, but any football man will tell you, you know, that's a great opportunity.
And he's being pulled back.
And he's being pulled back. So I think, listen, I feel for the referees there. We do batter them and everything, but listen, looking at it again, I think he's clearly a goal scoring opportunity. Collins knows what he's doing. He's actually been smart. He's not grabbed him and really he's made the referee make a decision. But yeah, that's one of them grey area ones where I feel for the referees, but I still think they got it wrong.
Did you feel for Bruno Fernandes just how long he had to wait, Peter?
Yeah.
It was almost 5 minutes while they carried out the checks. Also a couple of subs from Brentford as well, which was quite a clever tactic.
Nicely timed subs from Keith Andrews, I have to say. But I think one of the subs was prepared, but he waited till the very last check of the VAR before he made them. But it was a long wait, and you know, I think we've seen it before. I think it was at Fulham, was it, where Bruno was a little bit. I think the ref bumped into him, and it maybe lost a little bit of concentration. It's so difficult taking penalties, and you know, there's tremendous pressure on it. And you know, when your routine is upset in some way, or you wait a long time, have more time to think, it can be an issue. But who's to know? Bruno will score penalties in the future, no doubt.
Yeah, Chris Kavanagh bumped into him in that Fulham game before that penalty, and it really seemed to get into his head, and it looked certainly like that wait really did today, Joe. He's his second miss in 3 penalties this season.
Yeah, listen, everything that good that come through Manchester United over the last multiple years has been through Bruno, and he'll have big moments before this. Listen, he always steps up in big moments. It wasn't his day. He missed a penalty. I watch him play in the games today, and he wasn't at his absolute best of his game, but he was still the best player on the pitch for Manchester United for me, spreading the ball away. It's a great save, by the way. Kelleher's record he's read it. He's got a good strong hand. You know, it's not a dreadful penalty. It's along the floor. It's hit with some power. You've got to give the goalkeeper credit there. But but Bruno, you feel for him because he's performing consistently every week, and the team's just not coming with him, and it must be very frustrating.
How do you get out of that, Peter, if you've had a penalty saved or you've missed one, and then you feel like you are overthinking it maybe, and it's affecting you mentally?
No, I think he's a top player, Bruno Fernandes. I mean, listen, it didn't affect his game. We see him do, 60, 70-yard crossfield passes like they were nothing. You know, he's such a talented player. This happens. It's part of the game. Is if you take penalties, you're going to miss penalties. Unfortunately, he's missed 2 of the last 3, but no doubt he'll be back, and he'll be big enough, man enough to take them again.
So could have been 2-2. They missed that penalty, but then Brentford sealed the deal. Matthias Jensen, you loved this finish, didn't you?
Yeah, we did. Just because we were right behind it. I thought it was a fantastic breakaway goal. I think they did. It was Yarmouth who did brilliantly in the midfield. Get passed out to Jensen. I think he wants it back again, but again, Manchester United just backing off, and he just thinks, why not? And it looks like the goalkeeper's at fault there because it's in the centre of the goal, but we were right behind it, and it went in like a rocket, and it had that kind of knuckleball movement on it. It wobbled in the air, and it was such a clean strike.
Yeah, it was beautiful. Listen, it's great when you come and it gets us off our feet, and he just struck it. Look at that. Look at the body shape there, and the no spin on the ball. Before the goalkeeper's even lifted his arm. Look at that. Lifted his arms, has gone past him. It's a wonderful strike, and it just goes to show any young player out there, when, you know, to get the composure to really concentrate on your strike. You don't have to be really swiping it. Just the power on it just beat the goalie.
Yeah. And you've talked about needing to build momentum after last weekend's win. Does that make today's result even more deflating?
Yeah, it's the feeling is always the same. Of course, we want to win. I think we didn't control the game. We played the game of Brentford. Really confused, second balls, first balls, set pieces, and all the moments, crucial moments, they were against us. So tough to lose again, but we need to think about the next one.
We saw real fight from your United side against Chelsea last week. Did you see that today?
Yeah, in some moments, but we can do better. That is the main point.
You've conceded in every game so far in the league this season. How worrying is it for you as the manager when it seems to feel like it's a lot of the similar issues happening every week?
Yeah, the first ball was a long ball after a recovery. We work on that during the week. Set pieces, work on that also. So we knew that the long balls and then one first touch, and they had the opportunity, and the goals were like that. But we worked during the week. We need to do better.
When you have had the whole week with no midweek football to contend with this season, and you've had all of that time on the training ground, why don't you think the players were able to put that into practice on the pitch today?
Well, today was again we didn't play our game for just was some moments we had the control of the game. We pushed the opponent to the back, but the game was more or less always the same. Really, second balls, one ball, and then we need to play our game, not the opponent's game, and they were stronger on that.
The results have been inconsistent so far this season, and you know well by now that every defeat that comes as Manchester United manager, you're only one step away from another crisis. How are you managing that?
It's always the same. To lose in this kind of club, we need to. It hurts a lot. We need to think about the next one.
The next one is Sunderland. So, how important is it that you get a result in that game to go into the international break with a bit of positivity?
Everything is important in this club. So it's not just the games at home or whatever. We need to win every game, and we are not doing that.
We appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, tough afternoon for Rúben Amorim. He said it was confused. They kind of played into Brentford's hands today, Peter.
Yeah, I mean, he talked about, Manchester United need to play their own game, but we was even talking about it in the warm-up. It felt like they were a real worry about Brentford. They were concentrating on set pieces in the warm-up. I don't think they handled them well. They certainly didn't handle the long balls well. De Ligt had a tough afternoon, I thought, today. I think he was bullied at times by Thiago. He found it really difficult against him. There were long balls. He was losing headers. He was out of position at times. And if you consistently make errors like that, you're going to get punished. It doesn't matter where you are. Brentford have got players that can punish you, and they did just that today.
We're not seeing that improvement, are we, from last season that the fans were hoping for? Are we going to see that improvement in this system with these players?
No, I don't think so. I think he's had a long enough time to implement what he wants. Like I said, the not having the European football and preparing for a game like this, Manchester United away at Brentford. Listen, no doubt he's gone through set pieces in the week, because you will if you're playing against Brentford. But I think there's a culture. It seems like the culture. I don't think it's just the Rúben Amorim problem. I think there's massive problems around the club. I know the results can explain that for you, but we looked at his body language on the bench, didn't we, Crouch? He looks anxious. He looks worried, and I think that will filter into the players. I think as well, the players, they've got good senior players at Manchester United, but they're not looking like there's an effect on the whole group. Like I said, they play in fits and starts. They have 10 minutes here where they look good, 20 minutes there where they look good, but nothing consistent, no sustained. The fact that he hasn't won back-to-back Premier League games is a real concern.
And they've had money spent, signings come in, and also you said it's a problem with the culture, but they have been able to move players on who he felt weren't right in the dressing room, Peter.
Yeah, I think there was definitely an attitude issue, with some of the players. I think at Manchester United, I think they've moved on some of those problems, but I don't think it's proved again today. There's still a long way to go. I think they've signed good players. How much time do you give the manager? I think since he's come in, he's had a really tough time. He's got what you'd consider certainly his own front three, and things aren't clicking again. I mean, the Grimsby game was not of a Manchester United standard. Burnley, they were lucky. Chelsea, we had a man sent off. There have been good moments for United this season, but again, a really disappointing one again. And I think if things don't change, as quickly as after this game, then the Sunderland game for him is absolutely massive. A promoted side going to Sunderland, you have to get a result, otherwise they have to look at things.
They haven't won a Premier League game, Joe, since March without scoring a penalty or the opposition having a player sent off, which is just a remarkable stat.
Yeah, it's remarkable. Like I said, I think it's culture. What don't help is every player that leaves Man United going and hits the ground running wherever they go. So that tells me there's something in the harmony of the whole club, the group. Listen, to pull a Manchester United shirt on now, it must be it's the heaviest shirt in world football. Because of how poor it's been, and because of the history of the club, the expectations of the club. So that the manager's job, first and foremost, is to bring harmony and rejuvenate the culture, not to try and make it what it was. You're a million miles away from that. Forget about that. That needs to be put in a box, tucked away. Respect the past, because it is a beautiful past, a great part for the club. But whoever comes in has to find a way to galvanise, first of all, the players, because we know there's some good players here. The club, the board, the owner, the fans. The fans need to lower their expectations. They need a different direction, in my opinion.
In terms of the manager?
In terms, yeah, it is. And I Lindsay, I don't like saying that because, but I think for him as well, he was the bright young spark. People were talking about him like he was the Messiah coming into Manchester United and was going to sort everything out. And that's how high his stock was when he left Lisbon. So he's clearly a good manager as well. But there's the mix and the blend of the whole situation. I think it needs a culture change. And I think listen, I thought Gareth Southgate was the perfect man for the job at the state it was in terms of building culture, understanding the club, understanding the league, understanding the players, working with Jim Ratcliffe, people like that. And they went with this fella, and it doesn't look like it's working.
I think the issue is that being able to adapt. I think he's come in with a system, and that's all great if things work straight away. But the best managers, you work with Jose Mourinho, right? Within half an hour, if something's not working, 3 subs are coming on. You're changing the system.
And how do you get consistency if other teams can work out how to play against that, knowing that you never change?
That's what I'm saying. Like Alex Ferguson, the greatest manager Manchester United have ever had, consistently changed things up, and different personnel and coming in with a system is all well and good, but with your beliefs and but when it's not working, I do think you have to be adaptable. You have to have a game, a plan B, and it just doesn't seem to have that. And it must be so frustrating for the fans to sit there and watch it every week.
Quite simple. Your best win as manager here so far?
Yeah, it was a special afternoon. I think it was a result that we deserved. I was really proud of the performance. Had to show different ways of playing. We approached the first half with real bravery, courage on the ball, caused them a lot of problems, whether it was playing short to entice them in and then play long and penetrate them with real quality. And then naturally the game swings in different ways and you have to react to that. And whether it was subs coming on and how they reacted and how they refreshed the energy and the spirit within the team, but you could see right till the end when we got the third goal, it's very much a team effort that I'm very proud of.
It was a brilliant start as well. 2-0 up after 20 minutes, but then after that, not short of drama. How were you feeling when you conceded that penalty? Could have had Nathan Collins sent off. What were you thinking?
I think that's football, isn't it? I think you need to try and remain calm. All I was thinking during that scenario was you can't do anything about the actual incident. I had plan A and plan B up my sleeve. If he potentially got sent off, what that looked like, what that substitution looked like, what we would go to. Thankfully he didn't. Caoimhin produced an amazing save, which I know he's very, very capable of. And yeah, from that, I felt like we settled down, made a couple more subs, and it gave us a little bit more energy within the game. But I suppose that what you're seeing today was football. It swings in so many different ways during a game. There's always games within the game.
Only Erling Haaland has got more league goals this season than Igor Thiago. How pleased are you for him personally, particularly after how difficult it was for him last year, being out injured for so long, to see the start he's had?
Yeah, I watched Igor at close quarters last year, the struggles he had, and it's the worst part of being a professional footballer, being injured and not being able to do what you love doing. So I really felt for him. I built up a good relationship with Igor behind the scenes because of the nature of that. And I've always been aware of his qualities as a footballer and how much he wants it. And I think sometimes with Thiago, he wants it too much, too soon, and he needs to be a bit patient with getting rhythm into his game. But his contribution to this team, for me, was never going to be in doubt. And I think for the outside world now, I think they're starting to see that.
They certainly are. Two really good goals from him today. Keith Andrews very proud of the performance. His side with 7 points now, the same as Manchester United, who they sit above in the table. Overall today, what was your assessment of Brentford, Peter?
Absolute perfection, wasn't it, really? The game plan worked fantastically well. Obviously, we know how good they are from the set pieces, but I think they had more than that. They've got quality in there. You can see with the third goal, that was just a quality breakaway goal. I think the centre forward, definitely Thiago. I mean, he's just touching it there, Keith Andrews. It's difficult for him. He's obviously been chomping at the bit to play. To go through that as an injured player is so difficult, isn't it? You want to make an impact at the club. But he will make an impact this season. I mean, if he plays like that, I mean, at times he was unplayable, I thought, at centre forward, and he'll no doubt score goals. I think when they lose Ivan Toney, that could have been a problem, but Brentford just seemed to unearth these gems and keep buying in, keep changing the number 9 and consistently find another one.
And to lose the big players they did in the summer up front, he must feel just like a brand new signing for the fans.
Yeah, well, listen, he's been here a long time, but he hasn't played a lot of football, but he was outstanding. I want to mention Aaron Hickey at left back as well. 2 years out with a hamstring injury, and he come back, and he was brilliant today as well. You know, Sharda up front next to the main man. He bounced. He plays that sort of second striker, sort of running behind. Fantastic. He got the ball down his left-hand channel and absolutely ruined the lit on a few occasions. Just as a team, they look so solid and so well prepared and so together. So no problems with Brentford at all.
I think if you take that amount of goals and the amount of the Premier League appearances out of the team that they have this season and still manage to come up with a team that looks capable of beating anyone, certainly on their day here. And, you know, another thing is they have to look at is the away form. They'll certainly have to address that, because here I feel they're capable of beating anyone.
Yeah. Moment, Brentford leading 2-1. Manchester United awarded a penalty. Nathan Collins, the offender, on Brian Mbeumo.
Yes, penalty, definitely. Red card, in my opinion, definitely. What part of this isn't a denial of a goal-scoring opportunity? He's about to stretch and score. In fact, he touches it and gets pulled down at the same time. He's about to have a clear opportunity. That is an absolute goal-scoring opportunity. So where is the non-denial of a goal-scoring opportunity there?
Come back to that in a moment, because I think everyone's in agreement. But Bruno Fernandes has now missed 2 of 3 penalties, having only missed 1 of his previous 18.
Look, he's one of the best in the world at this technique. But I think if the goalkeeper waits and stands still, Rúben can't watch, you know. But if the goalkeeper waits, which Kelleher does, it puts Bruno under pressure, and then you end up just passing it. That's why I prefer the Harry Kane one, where you just whip it into the corner. If the goalkeeper waits, it puts you under pressure to make a decision. Look, see Kelleher, he waits, and he just reads it really well. And to be fair, you just wonder for Bruno as well. Is that because he's playing in that deeper midfield position? He's not getting as many touches in the area where he can affect the game. But yeah, one thing I would say is the football up to that penalty was really good. You know, got the ball out wide and they play into the channel. How it took them 4.5 minutes to not get the right decision on that red card and the penalty, just baffles me.
OK, well, let's try and explain that. Here is the Premier League Match Centre tweet that they put out on social media. The referee's call of penalty was checked and confirmed by VAR, with Collins deemed to have pulled Mbeumo back. VAR also checked the referee's call of yellow card to Collins and deemed that Mbeumo wasn't in control of the ball.
Because he pulled him. Okay.
Hang on. So here is the law. Let's give all angles to the story, Owen. Where a player commits an offence against an opponent with their own penalty area, which denies an opponent an obvious goal-scoring opportunity and the referee awards a penalty kick, the offender is cautioned if the offence was an attempt to play the ball or challenge for the ball. In all other circumstances, for example, holding, the offended player must be sent off. That's the IFAB laws of the game, and this is how it is applied in Premier League terms, in DOGSO, the distance between the offence and the goal, the generation. But this is the first one. The likelihood of keeping or gaining control of the ball. So let's have another look. And are you 100% sure the likelihood of gaining or keeping control of the ball for Brian and Mbeumo? Michael?
I've never been more convinced. Never. I mean, what are we trying to say here? That he's not in control of the ball. Listen, we're playing football. We don't play rugby here. The ball is never in our hands. We're not carrying it. The ball is in his control. It's right in front of him. He's about to score. How's that not in his control? He's like, whose control is it? The goalkeeper's? The referee's?
If he's not fouled, Mo, he'll be in control.
It's so painful.
Steve,
this is a big mistake. It's 100% a red card. 100%.
4.5 minutes to get to the wrong decision. How is that even possible? Me and you saw it in real time. I saw pen in real time. You saw red in real time. 1 second. So you got
straight away.
So you got the referee. You got the assistant.
Why is the ref give it a yellow?
In real time, it's a pen.
The referee should be reprimanded for giving a yellow in the first place, and then VAR they're obviously there, and I'm a big fan of VAR, but that's what they're there for now, is to correct that and say, do you know what? There was no attempt whatsoever to play the ball. If he slides in trying to get the ball and he brings him down, then it's a yellow, absolutely, because he's made an attempt to play the ball. Reaching and pulling with no attempt is not an attempt to play the ball. Therefore, it has to be a red card. There is no other way. And to say he's not in control of it, well, you could say that about virtually every happening in football. If I run through on goal one-on-one, I still haven't touched the ball, but it's right in front of me. I'm about to play it and someone pulls me. Does that mean I'm not in control of the ball because I haven't touched it yet? Do I have to touch the ball? Most finishes are one touch. So that, in theory, you're saying that we're never in control of the ball. It's right in front of him.
He's wrong side anyway. He's wrong side, Collins is anyway.
What part of not in control is he? It's an incredible decision. It is the most blatant red card there can be. That is. What part of it isn't a red card?
So the question is, you both think that's a blatant red card. For the remaining period, would the 11 of Manchester United have really troubled the 10 of Brentford?
They would have liked to have had the opportunity.
Well, you would have thought so. Anyway, bear in mind, Man United didn't play well enough to win this game. But that decision had an impact on the game. Without question, we can't deny that. Obviously, Bruno misses the penalty. But if there's 4 of them there and up in the booth as well, you got to get that right. I mean, we're seeing it in real time. We're not refs. Okay, we played, but we know. They got to get that right. They just can't not. It doesn't dismiss the fact that United were poor today and deserve to lose the game. But they're there to get those decisions right. They didn't get it right.
Brentford, and we saw the scenes at the end, they clinched it with a well-worked goal. A super strike from Jensen. But you like Yarmulke in the build-up?
Yarmulke was fabulous, to be fair. Igor Thiago was great. Look at this football, by the way. A little bit around the corner. Ooh, little dink over the top there, and then the counter's on. Watch this run from Yarmulke, which makes the goal. Obviously, it's a great strike. Look at the run, makes space. And obviously Man United are pressing. Looks a bit like the City goal, the third one. Everybody's up, and you counter. Okay, the football's really good, but they're just too open at the back. The first goal was the same, wasn't they? Everybody's up, playing behind, long balls they didn't deal with in that third goal. And to be fair, said Jensen, he probably deserved that. They were the better side, played fantastic. And Yarmulke with Igor Thiago they were probably the 2 best players on the pitch.
What was the goalkeeper doing there?
Getting out the way.
Getting out the way. It went right in the middle of the goal. I mean, I don't know what he was... Listen, it didn't matter. It was the last seconds of the game. Manchester United deserve to get beat. They will feel very aggrieved that they weren't. Penalty could have been 2-2 and against 10 men. The whole game should have turned over in the space of seconds there. And it didn't happen, so they'll scratch their heads. But the bottom line is Brentford deserve to beat them.
They will lick their wounds, Manchester United. Here is some player reaction from Matheus Cunha.
Such a disappointing result. How do you sum up that Manchester United performance? you know, like after we lost the game, it's so hard to talk about the performance. You know, of course, the performance is not the way they want because we lose. So we need to find a way to keep winning and then keep doing good performance.
Where did you fall short today? What was lacking?
Sorry?
Where did you fall short? What was lacking from the performance?
Honestly, it's like I say, we are not here to find a way to make excuses. We know what we need to do. We didn't do well, so we need to find a way to be more focused and then keep winning the games. This is what this club needs. This is what we want to give to the club, and we need to have character to change the situation.
How much belief is there in the manager and the way he wants you to play?
Full belief, 100%. I don't think always the United problems is the manager. We need to have character to take the responsibility and then change the situation, because who goes to the games is us, and then we know what we need to do, and I hope we can do much better the next games.
Sunderland at home, Liverpool away, up and coming for Manchester United. I mean, he's talking about full of character there. How many times in these chairs have we had this conversation about Manchester United in the last 12 months?
Steve, off the back of beating Chelsea, you got to win today. If they win today, they go joint second. Instead, you're 12, and then you got Sunderland at home. You're back in the mixer. You're in a Champions League place, probably. To lose today and get outplayed, by the way. Brentford before this game were 19th in possession. Yeah, so they didn't really want to play. They were going to play long balls. They were going to play direct and set pieces. First half, they had more possession than Man United. I don't understand how that's even possible. So I thought they were going to win the game. I was at the training ground yesterday. Everybody was full of confidence. I was certain they were going to win the game. They got outplayed. And again, there's question marks over the goalkeeper. Again, he's involved in 2 goals. Defensive, they've actually been pretty good up to this point. Today, they weren't. You know, the long balls and the direct balls really hurt them. And, you know, the midfield is still an issue. You know, Bruno's got to be a 10 again. He's the best creator. He's got to be a 10 again. And they've got to sort the midfield out. But the goalkeeper's an issue. At least Šeško scored. You know, that's probably the only positive, I think, for Manchester United today.
And I think what as Owen's alluded to there, he was at the training ground yesterday. Amongst Manchester United fans, this will be more damaging because there was so much optimism today on the back of last week.
But Manchester United fans must be so used to it now, the highs and the lows, well, mainly lows, but the highs and the lows and the false dawns over the last decade or so, it becomes deflating, I'm sure. And that was not a new low. I mean, I've seen Manchester United play worse, but it was almost devoid of anything today. I didn't feel that they had a tactical plan. As I say, I can't ever look at that team and think, as soon as I saw the team and thought Maguire, De Ligt, I thought, right, OK, yeah, set pieces, sit back, head it out. You know, the goalkeeper's a bit shaky, so I understand that, a little bit of height. But then I thought, OK, but you're going to have to play quite deep and you're going to have to play a little bit counter-attack, using Burmo and Cunha's pace, and played it. But then all of a sudden they start playing high and start getting long balls over. It's like, oh no, this is totally opposite style of play that you need to be doing if you're going to pick that team. So back to square one, back to the drawing board.